mic was muted. Oh no. You couldn't hear what I said before, but it was in sync with what I just said. Oh, that honestly annoys me. That honestly annoys me. I haven't even edited the review for last week's Flux. I was just busy sorting out other stuff for YouTube. Oh no, I'm behind schedule. Oh well. Right, you can hear me. Brilliant. Yeah, so I'm still editing last week's Flux review. Hopefully it'll go up tomorrow. If not, I'll have to delay it till Tuesday. I'm also trying to edit the Halo Infinite Tenrai review, as well as sort some IRL stuff out. Oh well. So, was that chapter 5? I don't know. Hang on, give me a second. So, hello YouTube. So, about, shall we say 25 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, Doctor Who Flux, Chapter 5, Survivors of the Flux aired. What the fuck? Okay, this just, wow. Yeah. This week we had the 1901 gang storyline minus the child. We had the Doctor storyline with the Vision. We had the Grand Serpent storyline, and we had Sadie's story. Now, her name's not Sadie, but I'm getting serious Halo 3 ODST vibes off her, because it's it's her story trying to find someone, much like in ODST, and she has like a little AI companion who's a circle helping her. In Halo 3 ODST, that was the superintendent. But anyway, whose storyline do we start with? So we'll start off with the 1901 gang, which is Yaz, Dan, and Jericho. I don't know where the child is. So they're in like a temple in 1904. So I guess we now call them the 1904 gang. So the 1904 gang, they're in a temple looking for, I think it was a pot that would help decipher the date upon when the Earth would be destroyed. They go to like a crystal ball woman, and that area gets blown up, and then they're on a ship, and they almost get killed by a waiter who's got a snake tattoo on his arm. This will come important later. He hits Jericho with a pot. Yaz knocks him to the floor by kneeing him in the nuts, and Dan trips him and keeps him pinned down. Dan the man, always there with a plan. Why did I just... he's dead because they don't kill him. He takes a cyanide capsule in his tooth. And then they wait till night time, and Dan and Jericho throw his body overboard. And, then they go up a mountain to I think it was a hermit, he's taking a piss out of them. They get up there, and he's like, "What's the gossip? Who's kissed who? I don't hear anything up here." And Jericho's going on about the telephone. The hermit's confused, and he's like, I'm just teasing you." And then, Jericho's like, "Oh, can you help us?" He goes, "No, I'm just teasing you. I don't get to tease people that much up here." So the hermit's cracking jokes that he's a hermit. I like the hermit. He's funny. But I think he had 3 words for them, and I think it was "fetch your dog." So Dan, Yaz, and Jericho go to the Great Wall of China. And I think the dog species from the Halloween Apocalypse was called the Carvestra. Might got that wrong. But you know, they write with white paint on the floor. At first I thought dog. Maybe it's a long stretch, but they might have linked it to Bad Wolf, which was chasing the Doctor and Rose around for the past, or for the first series of New Who. But no, they write, I think it was Carvestra, come get your human. And of course he sees this, and he's like, oh, I think it was, Dan is stuck in 1904, Carvestra, come get your human. And, you know, he sees it in his ship, and he's like, oh, I don't have time travel, humans are annoying, especially that one. So he's still taking the piss out of Dan. But, whilst that's happening, we have the woman's story, the one who's trying to find Vinda. She's going to this place that looks like it's absolutely destroyed, but in a Carvestra ship. And the main dog man calls her back to the thing covering Earth. So she's at Earth now. But her ship zooms away just before she's at like the area. And then as soon as she zooms away, we go to Vinda's perspective that is just teleported to that area, and hears the hyperdrive of the ship go off. They were that close to each other, and then they were just robbed. But it turns out where Vinda is where the swarm is doing their ritual or whatever it is. And Vinda gets cornered by two passenger forms and the purple swarm, and he gets put in a passenger's form. You know, he's going downstairs. He meets Di though, Dan's friend. You know, and she goes, "Oh, finally someone with a gun. I've got some scores to settle." So maybe Di's going to go off shooting the swarm. I'd say, if you ask me, leave it to Evil Dan and his wok. No problem. Nice little Doctor Who poop reference there for you. But yeah, so the human and the dog are there at Earth, and they're fighting in the ship. And that's where we will leave that, because we're going to wait for the cliffhanger. But, well, part cliffhanger. But their ships come under attack, and they're questioning what it is. Now, one of the other stories was the Grand Serpent. It's the bloke Vinda had to bodyguard, but he's like throughout Earth's history, and you know, he's in, I think it was 1967, post World War II, of course, and he, you know, he's going on about how he's there to hunt aliens and that, and the bloke's like, oh, what an extraordinary set of circumstances, and they're going on about UNIT. He ends up working for UNIT, and there's like an old wooden room with a TARDIS in the corner, and I thought to myself, hang on a minute, they're gonna like bring the third or fourth Doctor in here by mention. No, it was the 13th Doctor's TARDIS from 1901. No, it's not. 1950 something. Whenever last episode took place. Claire isn't seen for any of the episode. But the Grand Serpent kills the UNIT bloke. And he's talking with someone else a couple of years later. And he wants to be overseer of UNIT. He says no. He's mysteriously killed. Ooh. We see how they're killed. And it reminds me of Men in Black 3. Of how Boris the Animal would shoot these fucking crab things out his hands. But no, the Grand Serpent has this spiky snake worm thing. That like goes in them and crawls around their skin and then kills them and then comes out their mouth, and then it sort of goes back into him on his back. But then I think it's Kate Lethbridge Stewart, the woman who's in charge of UNIT, who was in Day of the Doctor 12th and 11th Doctor's run. You know, she's being confronted by the Grand Serpent. She's going, I think you're an alien because he keeps popping up and going, this bloke. And she does the full FBI search on him, finds what he doesn't want others to know. And she's going on about how it's like families worth lifetimes of work to keep UNIT going, because her dad, I think it was the Brigadier, which was the commander of UNIT through I think the 3rd and 4th Doctor's run, and I think the 7th. He was Brigadier for a long time, and she's doing that, and then he seems pissed. She goes back to her house, and there's a bomb on her keyhole. She turns her key, the bomb starts going off. Luckily, she hears it. She starts running away. Bomb goes off. She gets up, and she phones up Osgood, the woman with the glasses from They're the Doctor. And all she says is, "Osgood, I've got to go dark," and immediately crushes her phone. What a way to reintroduce UNIT. What a way. Just name drop Osgood and have the head of UNIT go dark. That's just... But what Kate said to the Grand Serpent was, I think it was, "Stop this or I'll expose you for who you are, or better yet, make you negotiate with someone you really don't want to argue with." I think she's talking about the Doctor. I really do. Because the UNIT and Doctor seem to be, if in doubt, call the Doctor, you know what I mean? But, that's that. And then, near the end of the episode, we find out who's attacking the Carvestra. It's the Sontarans. Like, a big fleet of Sontaran ships. And, they board the Carvestra ship and start shooting at him, saying all Carvestra must die. But the head of them phones the Grand Serpent. And he's like, I want to, attack, revenge and that. And he says, "Be my guest." But beforehand, he said to a woman who's in charge of like UNIT nukes, "You have the cities, nuke them." But she had a snake tattoo on her hand. So like, Grand Serpent's after Dan the Man. We can't be having this. But the Sontarans invade Earth then, and the 1904 gang keeps seeing that Liverpool bloke who had the mines that Dan ran into once. So they go to Liverpool to find him. He is mad. He knows about the flux and everything, and there were door marked with notes. I didn't get a good enough chance to look at them. If I can find an image of those doors, I'll put them up now. But I remember him saying door number 9 is death. Now, I saw red behind that door. So, a long shot, I think it's Gallifrey. Because if you remember, at the end of Series 12, the Messiah bloke detonated a nuke on Gallifrey, but beforehand, the Master purged the planet. And Gallifrey's red. I think Gallifrey's coming back again. But the Sontarans attack them as well. I mean... But... the Doctor's story. Bloody hell. Chris Chibnall is making the last series make sense. I didn't think that was possible. So we start her story with her becoming a weeping angel, talking to thousands of weeping angels and not getting a response. Then her being re-weeping angeled and brought to another place where she's stabilised by an Ood. I love the Ood. And she's brought to the main room where that old woman from the other episode is. Now, I thought there and then, the old, from, like, what episode was it? Not, but, Once Upon a Time. I thought from Once Upon a Time that old woman was the Doctor's adoptive mother, which is the person who rescued her from, like, the portal. Turns out she is. She's arguing with the Doctor back and forth. The Division is pre-William Hartnell Doctor. The first Doctor. Look, she's going on about how the Doctor was an escaped experiment from Division. I think, because from what I remember, the first Doctor, the plot was he ran away from Gallifrey with a TARDIS. And if what's true about the Doctor escaping from the Vision, the Doctor would have escaped, stole the TARDIS, and ran away. They've gone full circle back to the first Doctor. Good job, Chris Chibnall. That's a nice bookend there. Not bookend, reference loop. Welcome to Doctor Who. Nothing makes sense when you involve time travel. Um, but you know, and then there's a whole debate about how the Doctor's pissed that her memories were taken because they're not hers, and her mother's like, "I knew I made the right call wiping your memories," and it's like, "Oh, okay." But the flux was engineered to kill off the last universe because the Doctor interfered. So they just essentially said the first Doctor caused everything, which is cool, I guess. But then they look over at a glass cabinet. After the huge showed the Doctor a map of what's left of the universe with Earth in the centre, meaning Earth is about to become a war zone. But she looks over at the cabinet and it's a fucking fob watch. Like the one the 10th Doctor had in Human Nature and Family of Blood, where he took his Time Lord memories out of his mind and he became John Smith. All of the Doctor's past memories are in that fob watch. The, the fugitive Doctor might finally make sense. We might get an answer to, in the 4th Doctor's episode, The Face of Morbius, who those pre-First Doctors were. We might get an answer for the Vision, where the Doctor actually came from. We might be about to get a lot of information real quick. Like, I know I wasn't a fan of the whole idea of the Doctor was the foundation of everything, but they're actually well describing it now. It still doesn't make... no, I guess it could... I guess now in the context of, it makes all of the previous Doctor Who fine again, under the context of the Doctor had her memories wiped pre-Hartnell. So, nice job there, Chibnall. You've saved yourself. You know, he's beginning to earn forgiveness. But yeah, and then the Flux people, not Flux, Swarm people get there. And the Flux man kills the Doctor's mother. And the cliffhanger was, you next. And he goes to kill her. There's 2 cliffhangers in a row where something's going to happen, or has happened to the Doctor, back to back. Why? Where was this Chibnall for the past 2 seasons? Like this... He's done so well this season. Like, I haven't been excited about Doctor Who since The Woman Who Fell to Earth. And I am again, so like, he saved himself. But, I mean, he had many stories going on. He had the 1904 gang. He had Vinda and whatever her name's story is. That's 2 separate ones. He had current day Earth. He had the Swarm. He had the Doctor. He had the Vision. That's 7 stories that have just been interlinked. But what I'm kind of like, where could this go about is they could bring back the 10th Doctor and Rose. Hear me out. The Division is a ship outside of both universes. That means they're in the void, which is a place devoid of life. Nothing can survive there, right? And in 10th Doctor's Army of Ghosts and Doomsday two-parter, he got rid of all of the Daleks, all of the Cybermen that were invading London into the void. And he sent Rose. Rose was about to be taken to the void, but her dad from Parallel Earth, Pete, caught her and took her back to his Earth, right? Journey's End and Turn Left. No, Turn Left and Journey's End, which was 2006 or 7, I believe, which is when Donna was the companion, brought the Daleks back because the barrier had been broken down yet again, and Rose came back, but Donna touched the severed hand of the 10th Doctor from the Christmas Invasion, spawning the Meta-Crisis Doctor, which was half Time Lord, half human, and couldn't regenerate, and in the end wiped Donna's memory because she became part human, part Doctor, and that's too much for her brain, but put Rose and the Meta-Crisis Doctor on Parallel Earth and sealed the borders. Now, they wouldn't be dead yet. They'd probably be in their 40s or 50s. But now that they're in between dimensions and the division is trying to move to the next one, they could go to that Earth. Rose and the Meta-Crisis Doctor could come back. Is this the way they're going for the 60th? Are they going to bring David Tennant back as the Meta-Crisis Doctor? Or are they going to bring him back as the 10th Doctor and reunite him with Rose again? Or are they going to reunite 13 with Rose? Guess we'll just have to see. But the next time, oof, it had Sontarans, it had Daleks, and it had Cybermen. And I think they're going to wage an all-out war for the custody of the planet Earth. The Doctor now has her work cut out for her. I mean, in the next time, it showed the fob watch being opened by the female swarm. So I think the Doctor's going to get all of her memories back. And we're going to, like in the 11th hour, the first 11th Doctor episode, where I think it's the Atraxi, or the Atroxy, the crystal things with the eyeballs. They were scanning the Doctor, and it went through from the 1st to the 10th Doctor, and the 11th Doctor stepped through the hologram. I think we might get another montage like that, but better, kind of, because it would have explained all of the past stuff that happened with the Doctor, and then go from the first Doctor through 12 to 13. Plus we might finally get an explanation for the fugitive Doctor. I would give this episode a 4 out of 5. But I really want to give it a 5 out of 5. But I'm saving that. I really am. Because the way this series is going, it's got one more episode. I think the next one is the last episode. Oh god, that's just say in my head. But if the next episode goes the way I think it could go, it might get a 5. Oh, that's going to be a long wait for the New Year special. You got to go through the rest of December. No. I have not. No. I have not sort of wanted a Doctor Who special to happen quicker since Twice Upon a Time. It's weird that, actually, because I didn't go much on the 11th Doctor until his last season. I thought his last season he was brilliant. Same with the 12th Doctor. I didn't really go much on him until his last season. And now it's the same with the 13th. I didn't go much on her until her last season. I mean, I know there are the specials next year, but like... Yeah, it's a bloody good episode. If you enjoyed listening to me ramble about Doctor Who Flux Chapter 5 Survivors of the Flux, thanks for watching then, for doing that. If you have an alternative opinion, feel free to either leave it in the comments or send it to me on social media, which will be linked in the description, along with everything else. I will see you next time. Until next time, don't have a good day, have a great day. And I wonder what I'm going to review next. Sorry about that. Twitch, my stream ended by itself. I'll put them together, don't worry. But yeah. I hope I get it all edited in time. If you enjoyed watching, thanks for doing that. If you watched live on Twitch, thanks. If you've watched the stream on Twitch, thanks for doing that. If you've watched on Stream Archive, thanks for doing that. If you've watched anything on any of my other channels, thanks. And if you're currently supporting the Studios channel, no, the Reviews channel, thank you for doing that. I'm quite proud of where that channel has got so far. I still do not know what direction my YouTube will be going, so if it don't make sense to you, it obviously don't make sense to me. Until next time, keep making impossible possible. I will see you in the next stream. Until next time, don't have a good day, have a great day. Bye.